What's up, dudes, and welcome back to Chillin with Dylan, episode 76. Haven't got to recording until just now. It's like 8 o'clock at night. I worked at the map shop today, and then got to see somebody that I've been wanting to see for a minute now, with my 2 hours of free time, so that was really nice. And now I'm working at the hostel until 2 a.m. once again. So yeah, I kind of just, low energy day today. So I was like, we'll just make the video later. And it's, just going to be a chill, I don't know, whatever. We're still doing it every day though. So, that's good. That's good. We're staying committed, staying true. So today I'm starting something new, kind of like when it's just like videos like this where it's just kind of like talking and not really doing much. I'm going to implement a word of the day because I want to expand my vocabulary, and y'all might as well join me with that. And then also just to keep things a little more structured and a little more kind of like a little less like all over the place and just rambling, I'm choosing like a topic to focus on throughout the day, that I'll end up talking about on here. So before all that though, it's been a solid day. It's been just chill. Definitely been like a little, just tired, and I don't know. I definitely was like in a weird state for a second, but I was able to kind of pull myself out of that. And not even pull myself out of it, but just let go of it. Let go of that state and just be for a minute, and then, adjust accordingly and enter a state that I do want to be in. But right now I'm in a state of just wanting to fucking sleep, dude. I'm so tired. But anyway, today's word of the day is flocculent. It's an adjective. It refers to having a soft, cloud-like, or woolly texture. It describes things that are fluffy or wispy, such as snow, wool, or thick clouds. Example: the sky was filled with flocculent clouds that drifted lazily across the summer horizon. That's a good one. If somebody, I don't know, it would be interesting to somehow work that into a compliment. Like, dude, your hair is so flocculent. Like, I don't know, just bust that out. Like, that would be fucking lit. I would react positively to that compliment, especially now that I know what that word means. Because I guess it could sound a little offensive maybe if you don't know what it is. But for the daily topic, I chose forgiveness today. Forgiveness is cheesy, corny, whatever. I don't give a fuck though, because it's important. Like, forgiveness is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself and for others. I have found that when I don't forgive myself for certain things, like falling back into, ways that I don't want to be in anymore, when I, break a promise to myself or something, or something like that, or just like disappoint myself or whatever, I've noticed that I'm not truly free from whatever it is that I've done to myself until I've forgiven myself for it. So like one of the greatest like examples that I've found is like through addiction. Like addiction, it would be like I would be like, okay, I'm done drinking, done smoking, whatever. I'm done doing this, doing that, and then I would fall back into it, and I would start doing whatever it is again, and immediately, like, I would start to condemn myself and make myself feel like shit for it and beat myself up, and I'd just be like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Dylan? Like, you just are such a failure and a fuck up, and like you're just always gonna be like this. And that is exactly what would keep me in the addiction. Like I'd start to just kind of wallow in that, and just be like, oh, this is it, and I deserve this because whatever reason that isn't good enough. And so now it's like I understand that, like, if you truly want to free yourself from it and start over and get out of it, like, and this isn't even just for addiction, like with drugs or anything. It's like any state of mind, any state of mind that you enter that hurts you. You have to forgive yourself for putting yourself in that situation. Of course, you have to recognize that you put yourself there, but you have to just know, like, you're gonna stay stuck in that until you forgive yourself and allow yourself to take on something new. Because, like, until you forgive yourself, like, you're just gonna think that you deserve, like, whatever suffering and torment it is that you're experiencing. You're just gonna believe you deserve that, and you'll keep accepting it. But as soon as you are like, you know what, like, I made a mistake, I did something that I didn't want to do, but it doesn't have to stay this way. Forgiveness is recognizing that, like, you can free yourself from it. You don't have to stay in that state of mind, in that way of being anymore. You don't have to do that. And as you forgive yourself more and more, it's also a recognition that you deserve better. It's a recognition of that, and as you believe that you deserve better, you'll start to accept better things. And you might still make a mistake again in the future, but that's okay. And what I've noticed is, like, when I forgive myself for a mistake that I made, it becomes like a longer, like, distance between occurrences of, like, that type of mistake. It becomes a longer time between, and a quicker, like, turnaround of, like, getting back on track, getting back on the path that you want to be on. Because, again, like, as long as you haven't forgiven yourself, you're going to keep yourself in these low states of mind, and you're going to just keep doing these things that you don't want to do anymore, and you're just going to keep, like, generating this because you think you deserve it. It's on some level, you think you deserve this suffering, this pain, whatever. And but as soon as you forgive yourself, it's like you open up the option for yourself to choose something better. And yeah, in a way, it's like a recognition of that you deserve more, that you deserve better. And it's really, like, at the end of the day, like, the only person that we need to forgive us is ourselves. Because it's really, like, I've noticed that it's really, like, most of the time nobody's really holding anything against me ever, but, like, we are so critical of ourselves. We're so critical of ourselves, and we judge what we do more than anybody else ever will. And So, it's like if you free yourself from your own judgment and forgive yourself, it's like just you don't really need the forgiveness of other people. But it is important to forgive others, like I don't really care if other people forgive me or not, because that's not my choice. But I understand how important it is to forgive other people because, we think that like holding on to a grudge or something is helping or whatever, but it really isn't. Like you're just holding yourself in that like frustration and that rage and that anger, and you're just doing this to yourself. Like the other person is probably not even thinking about it, but like until you forgive another person for what they did to you, you're just holding on to this, all this negative. You're holding on to that past moment. But forgiveness of others is an opportunity to let go of the past, let go of whatever they may have done to you. And that doesn't mean you have to be like best friends and all giddy with everybody. You can forgive somebody and never talk to them again, but what it is letting go of that pain and hurt that they gave you. Like until you forgive that person, you're just holding on to what they gave you, which is this pain and this suffering and this frustration and anger. Like I don't know, like you could sit and just like argue with people in your head all day, but it's really like you're the only one experiencing that, and you're the only one that's affected by that. So what are you really gaining by holding on to grudges, like besides just a bunch of shit that you really don't want? So yeah, forgiveness is truly like, it's super important, dude, to forgive yourself and forgive others, because forgiveness just allows you to let go of the past, let go of all this stuff, like, and it opens the doors to new experiences, new ways of seeing things, new ways of being, new ways of thinking. And like that's so important, dude, because yeah, until you forgive yourself and others, you're just going to be in the same spot that you were yesterday. You're just going to be in the same position doing the same shit. And if we're all being honest, like none of us want that. None of us want to have the same tomorrows as we did yesterday. Like we don't want to repeat this shit. We want, at least me personally, like I want something different. I want something new, like as often as possible. But by holding on to grudges against yourself and others, you just cut yourself off completely from anything new, because you're so focused on the past. You're so focused on these old things that are over and done with, and you can't change anything about it. It just is what it is, and it isn't anymore. It truly does not exist anywhere outside of your mind now. And yeah, dude. I wrote something in here as well, that the duration of your suffering is, I wouldn't say solely dependent, but that's what I wrote. I wrote solely dependent on how quickly you can forgive. Like, how quickly are you able to forgive yourself for whatever it is? Like, because I find that the quicker you're able to do that, the quicker you get yourself out of whatever it is that is causing your suffering, which is always something up here. It's always something up here. It's never, I don't care what anyone says, it's never anything on the outside that causes your suffering. And suffering comes from within, just like our joy and happiness and peace do. And as soon as you're able to let go of the old and be okay with whatever it was, and allow yourself to move forward, like that is like how long your suffering will last, is how quickly can you forgive yourself, how quickly can you forgive somebody else. You know, I am working on just like immediately as soon as I understand, like, oh, I'm hurting myself, or I'm doing something that I don't like, or somebody just said something that I don't like, you know, well, forgive it, whatever, it's done. It isn't here anymore. It's not in this reality now. And again, you know, that doesn't mean let people walk all over you. That doesn't mean, you know, be a pushover. That doesn't mean, you know, be friends with people you don't really like or jive with. It just means whatever it is, dude, leave it in yesterday. Today is today. Live for today while you're here today, and, you know, don't be carrying around your past with you. It doesn't matter. It's over, and it has no power over you unless you want it to. But anyway, I'm gonna call that for the day. It was a good kind of like, I liked having just like a solid topic to kind of contemplate on throughout the day. It kept me, it trained my focus a little bit, you know, to bring myself back to one objective and one idea, I guess. So yeah. I hope y'all gained something from that. I know I did, and I highly suggest, like, you know, set an intention of focus for just like a day. Like, have one subject that you just like keep bringing yourself back to throughout the day, and it's surprising, like, how much you'll just like draw from yourself. Like, all this stuff that I just said, like, that came from me in my own mind. Like, so, you know, it's like I've known this stuff, but like now I know that I know it, you know? Like, it's always been up there in the mind, but being able to focus on it, let me see that was all there. So, yeah, try that out, dude, and stay flocculent, motherfuckers. Peace out. I love you. See you tomorrow.